to Stockholm, so Copenhagen is much closer.
We can start by introducing the panelists. So, Amanda, who are you?
Hello, I am Amanda, and I do not weekly vlogs, and not even monthly vlogs. I do vlogs when I feel like it, and I have 2 channels, one Swedish and one English, because I want to be able to, you know, do stuff with all speaking people in every language. And I also do music with this guy. And my goal, I think, is I like film, and I have started to enjoy making film a lot because of YouTube. So that's where I'm heading, I think. I'm learning how to handle the camera, I'm learning how to write scripts, I'm learning what looks good and what doesn't, and yeah, that means I need people to do stuff with me, so feel free to sign up.
When did you start making videos?
I started making videos about 2007, and then I stopped, and then I started, and then I stopped, and now at 2011, I think, or 12, I started DreamingCarpet, which was like my new start project, which is my English-speaking channel, and well, it just took off from there. We went to England, we went to London, and I had this idea that I wanted a big gathering in Sweden as well, and so I contacted Martin's group on Facebook and said, hey, help me, let's not just have a park hangout, let's have a big fucking hangout. Sorry, excuse me. Beep.
More like an organized hangout than just see each other in a park.
And then it really took off, and here we are. So yeah.
Staffan?
Yeah, my name is pstaffan, and I have a lot of channels. I have a pstaffan game where I'm doing Swedish gameplay. I have TheSwedishLad. No, that's you. Trying to steal your channel. I have Your Daily Swede, and where I was thinking about doing daily vlogs in English, but that failed like 5 times. So I started up my pstaffan channel in October 2010, and I did daily vlogs for a whole year in Swedish, and then I started to drop down some, and now I'm doing vlogs sometimes, and mostly it's angry vlogs now. I'm talking about things that annoy me.
Comment system.
Yeah, the comment system. Which I love.
We'll get to that. Martino.
Oui. Je m'appelle Martin. So I started vlogging in 1999, for real, and it's a long story. And I started my Princeware channel in 2007, and I actively started vlogging in 2008, and the longest I've gone without putting up a video is 10 days. If you don't clap, I'll just add the clapping myself afterwards. And then in 2011, maybe, I started TheSwedishLad, which was supposed to be my little sidekick channel. And then table turns, and TheSwedishLad is now sort of my main channel. That's where I do the most scheduled stuff. 10 Swedish words and Norse mythology and live streams and last week in Sweden. And I mean, I'm an organizer at heart, so it's always felt natural. And I look forward, whenever I go to Gothenburg, or when I will go to the future Denmark gathering, so it's so nice because I can just go there without having to do anything. So that, yeah, that's me, and I am also married.
Sorry, girls and guys. We've just talked about Denmark being kind of a competition for some people. Some people view it as a competition. Do you see that in Sweden as well?
Yeah, it's a lot of competition, especially in the gaming section. There's a lot, just because of PewDiePie, and he's grown on the YouTube. Everybody wants to be a new PewDiePie, and everybody's posting like, oh, I love your video. By the way, I have also made a video. But that's mostly in the YouTube comments section that goes on. On Facebook, it's a bit different. There
You have a Swedish Swedish vlogger page as well.
Yeah.
What's the climate in there?
It's a bit more positive. People are watching each other's videos. Now we're over 200 people in the group.
Some spamming?
Some spamming, actually. Some people are posting pictures sometimes and links to blogs. And mostly I go in and just delete those posts.
You're one of the admins?
Yeah, I'm one of those people.
So watch out!
Yes, watch out. But I like to have a discussion like between bloggers, and we're trying to not have gaming in the channel, but like sketches and like people talking about like how to do stuff like that. That's more the correct way to go. And yeah, we would like people like hanging out and just talking positive things and negative things about things. If there's like, hey, your video is all black, you have to do something about that.
Nothing wrong with black though.
Nothing wrong with black, but maybe put a spotlight on your face or something.
Also about competition, it's not as obvious in Sweden as perhaps it is in Denmark, because there are a lot of collabs going on. However, that is amongst the big YouTubers only. And so they collab, they promote each other, and that's about it. And so us that do not have 100,000 subscribers, we have fun together instead. We try to find each other and we try to make stuff happen, but it's not really a community where you can go up to anyone and hug them and say, hey, let's have fun. It's more like the collabs are mainly to promote one another, for the big ones.
I gotta say though, among the middle-sized people, I gotta say though that amongst the people with who are not in the very top and down, middle and down, collaborate quite well. One big example is Martin is collaborating with everyone, no matter.
I do everybody.
who they are. And he does it with everyone, and it's been great for us.
Yes.
We've only known Martin for half a year.
February?
Valentine's Day.
Valentine's Day.
Since for about a year, and we've been collaborating a lot. So I think just have the courage to start up a collaboration.
And also how we collaborate with you is that sometimes we do it over distance. So really, okay, it's fun to do it in real life with someone, you know, but don't let the distance stop you, because we've done some stuff with him like from far away, from different cities, so that shouldn't stop you. We're internet people, we can spread stuff to each other, we can send scripts to one another, we have our own camera so that we can do stuff at home. We could do it distantly, but it's going to be quite hard, but that could be a fun challenge, so it shouldn't really stop people. It should expand the opportunities to collaborate with people, because you have the chance to do it with whomever you want, basically.
I mean, another thing I would pride myself is the advent carpet that I do every year in December, because that's when I bring in the people that I know that I like to participate. And it's not really about views. It's my the first year I did it, I called it my 90210 Internet Party. 90210 is a series that came out in the late 80s, early 90s, when they all gathered at the Walsh's house and had fun. So that's my version of that, by bringing all the people that I've met over the past year. I mean, a lot of you who are in this room has been part of that, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah. So for me, when it comes to a collaboration like that, it's about the person. But obviously, when I do other stuff like the one we did this week, then you know these guys have a strength. I have a strength. Let's put it all together and see what happens. Banana.
We mentioned PewDiePie, that's bound to come up one way or another. He's somehow become the poster boy of Swedish YouTubers, for at least foreigners, and he's mainly into gaming, so he's not part of the vlogging and sketch and type community, and he's not living in Sweden. Worth mentioning as well. So, is gamers? Do gamers have their own community? Do you think, or separate from the vloggers?
Well, maybe.
Can you combine that?
I guess it's much easier to collab as a gamer if you know the gamers, because then you can always like invite them to game.
You don't have to meet IRL to
Yeah,
game.
you never meet the IRL. Like DreamHack is like the biggest thing they have. You could go to DreamHack and you could probably meet a couple of nice gamers. We know Nerdphilia is a gamer. She has been at some gatherings and well.
Do gamers come to gatherings like this often? Any gamers here?
I have some
Speak
Professional
up.
gamers?
Yeah, it also depends on where we promote the gathering also. So if they don't heard about gathering, they can come.
I can also, I mean, this is where I apply my master's thesis. I mean, YouTube as a site, it's not a good social media site, especially now video sponsors are gone, comments doesn't work. So
We'll come to that.
So the build-up. So really, I mean, social media today is actually being on several platforms, and since gamers are obviously on other platforms, that's where they communicate more than watching each other's vlogs. So it's, I mean, having YouTube as the only site is not. I mean, that's why we started the website, because then we can actually reach out to more people. Some people don't use Facebook.
But they do use Twitter and they do use Instagram and that kind of stuff, and they do use YouTube. So if we keep promoting the website, then people can find it anyway, even though they don't have Facebook, because spam, exactly. Because
Some people don't use Twitter, they use spam.
last year we only had the event on the Facebook page, which could sort of not restrict, what's the word, put boundaries around whom finds the event and actually decides to come. But if we have something official that is applied to all of the internet, then more people can find it and come and have fun.
How important do you think it is to meet IRL for bloggers and YouTubers in general? It's important for most people, of course, but in what ways?
As I said, I think it's great that internet gives us the chance to collaborate through it. But also, I mean this, why are we here if we don't want to meet in real life? This is like making good friends that we can keep in contact with forever. And also to get inspiration from one another, because sometimes you get inspiration block, you don't know what to do. And then you have friends that you can, fall back on and look back on their stuff and look back on, I know that person, that's a fine human being that is my friend, and we do good stuff together. And expanding your contacts, basically. I mean, yeah.
And when the YouTube crashes and nobody has any subscribers, you still have your friends.
Exactly.
Pizza time.
And that was the end.
Yeah, we can go home now. And that's the thing about pstaffan. If you wondered what the thing about pstaffan is, that's the thing.
It's the love between people. In one people. In one people.
So, meeting IRL is easier, of course, if you live close to another. And most of the community around YouTube is based in Stockholm, for obvious reasons. It's the biggest city. It's the biggest city. So, I'm just gonna... Is there pressure, directly to you, now, is there pressure for YouTubers who don't live in Stockholm to move there? Have you felt that?
I think we'll get to that more when we talk about the MCN, all the networks. But I mean, YouTube is probably not very different from most other, functions in life where you go to the urban place, which is mostly the capital, to pursue a career. Again, it depends on what you want your YouTube to be. Is it a hobby? Is it something that you would like to, use as a stepping stone towards a real job, then sometimes, yeah, you probably need to go where I just want to be cool is.
Or get a car.
But, well, I mean, before we forget about it, you can talk about the next thing that's happening when we talked about the website and information. The thing in December.
Yeah, there's another YouTube gathering this year. In Gothenburg, we have a Christmas special gathering. It's mostly for Swedish people, I would say, because it's just over the day. So if you're coming from a far place, right? You're still welcome. Then we will talk English, I promise. But it's the 14th of December, and we will meet up at the central station in Gothenburg. And we will hang out, probably go through some stores, and then later we're going to this place called Musikhjälpen, which is a charity event.
Music help.
Yeah, that the Swedish radio has every year. So we're going to visit them, and if we have any money left, we could give them some money. And later we're going to Liseberg amusement park and strolling around, watching Santa Clauses and reindeers and drinking good drinks. Glögg. Julmust and eating pepparkakor.
Pepper cookies.
Yeah, pepper spray cookies.
Well, this Swedish community, whatever it is, where do you think it's going? Where do you see the Swedish community in a couple of years? Will we have another Swedish version of VidCon?
I mean, it depends on if it's the gathering or if it's the actual community that we talk about.
Because what do we want?
Yeah, that's. I think we're all at the stage where we don't really know. We have this vision of what England is and what they have, and what America has, and we see. They're really huge, insanely crazy big community with people watching and with a few people making stuff. And so, since at least here in Sweden, people have just realized what YouTube can do and what YouTube can be. It's been around for a long time, but it's now that people have realized that, okay, this is good. This is opportunities, this is friends, this is learning, this is cool. Okay, I'm gonna do this. But we don't really know where the community is because it hasn't been around for. The idea of a community is quite new, and so mostly it's friends, a few of us just hanging out. But as our gatherings grow bigger, I think the communities will as well. They walk sort of hand in hand. At gatherings, people have a chance to see that, okay, I'm really not alone. There are a lot of people doing this as well. And so I think, they go hand in hand, but what we need to decide is, do we want it crazy big or do we want it cozy, huggy?
I don't know the figures of this year's VidCon. Do you know that? But the Summer in the City was 7,000 people, I think, and it was sold out, and it will be next year as well. So maybe it will not become as big as that in Sweden. Will we have 7,000 people in a few years?
I mean, again, the reason why VidCon has become what it is and Summer in the City is that you have a small organization of people who wants to do things, and then they know a lot of, mostly the bigger ones, just because that's sort of what pulls a lot of people in. But again, I mean, for those of you who were here last year when Michelle was here, her friend Grace, who is now top 10, I think, when we were in the lobby, 2 or 3 people, like girls, came up and talked to her. And then this year, there's like a line of like 1,000 people. And I'm not sure, I mean, I wouldn't want to be the person.
Well, that's not fun for anyone, I think, being in the line and at the end of the line. This is sort of, how many people are that important? Am I worth all this attention? Why do people want to get a photo with me? Why do all these thousands of people stand in line to have a photo with me? Just to... What have I done?
Yeah, for me, I mean, YouTube is now more or less mainstream. I mean, we're not this weird bunch of people filming ourselves there. People have started to realize that these people are actually now somewhat celebrities within a certain sphere or demographics. Although looking at the Swedish Blog Awards, we're still kind of we're still on the sidelines. We're not pretty enough. So I mean, I'm hoping that it will inspire people to be creative online and do videos that they want to do and know that other people are doing it as well. And through that means you're no longer bound to the people in your geographic closeness. Proximity. You can actually find people who are like you in, all over the world, really.
Speaking of the Blog Awards, beauty gurus, is there a community of beauty gurus in Sweden? Anyone? No? No one is beautiful in Sweden? Alright.
There's a lot of people watching like how to do makeup tutorials on YouTube. So I know that there's a lot of videos and a lot of people watching them. I don't know where they're from or if there are English viewers or Swedish viewers, I don't know. But I know that there's a lot of Swedish bloggers making...
Certain people have loads of followers, but I don't know if there's a really community like there is with vloggers.
No, I don't know. But
you should probably ask someone who knows instead.
But as I say, it's a lot of people watching like howling videos and makeup videos. Yeah. So I guess they have the audience for it, and they know it. And there's also these blog awards that you're talking about. They're also promoting like, hey, do you want this bag of goodies? Then you could put up a video.
Free stuff.
Yeah, free stuff. It's always good.
Before I forget it, I think it's also important for us to decide, is it a YouTube community we want, or is it a YouTube genre community we want? Do we want vloggers, gamers, and beauty gurus, and musicians, and they all have their own separate communities? Or do we want to gather every single one at the same place and, learn experiences from other people? Because as we said, it's hard for us to get gamers here because we don't really know where to find them because we don't do it ourselves. And I think it's the same with beauty gurus because they don't find that they get so much from us as amongst themselves. So if we want it to grow, we need to, mash up these genres that we've come up with and make everyone a YouTuber more than a specific YouTuber, because that would expand the community quite a lot, I'd say.
There's also the musician YouTuber, which... do we have a community? I think we're
it's the same
closely related to the vlogger community, the music community.
It's more easy to collaborate with a musician, whatever you do, because everyone likes music in their videos. Most of everyone likes music in their videos, and so collaborating with a musician ain't that hard.
There should be like a YouTube family tree with all the genres, and then the angry, lonely child, Danish person at the end.
I thought we were going to say family tree, like in Who Slept with Who.
That would be a 4D version of it. 3D. Shh.
All right. Any questions to any of the panelists about the Swedish
or just
community,
thoughts,
or thoughts, or suggestions, or hate comments, or
yeah, because the thing is that we talk about this all the time amongst ourselves. So obviously, getting input from other people
we don't meet that often.
Make our conversations more fun.
No.
Do you agree with what some of us are saying? You're nodding. Yes. Blog awards are evil.
A question: when out of all of you in here, both Swedes and every other country as well, do you say that you are a specific YouTuber, or do you say that you're just a YouTuber? Do you say that I'm a gamer, or do you say I'm a vlogger, or I'm just a YouTuber? Because if we can separate those two things, or just mash it up, as I said, we could become a unity, yeah?
It all depends on who asking. If I meet someone I know which is not into YouTube and they ask, what are you doing? Well, I'm a YouTuber. That's an easy explanation. But if someone which does YouTube, well, I'm a daily vlogger then. So that's two ways I explain it to people. I don't know what, I think many other people use that way as well.
That's true. However, I always have the problem that when I say I'm a YouTuber, they go like, okay, so you watch a lot of YouTube videos. Yes, but I make them myself.
I watch myself.
I mean, where do you want to see this go? I mean, some of you have been to several of these gatherings. What are your thoughts on... I can tell you that the other day I got a phone call after we were in the paper, because they found it somehow through the website. I got a phone call from the Malmö Exhibition Center, which used to be the big building, which is no longer outside here, it's out by the arena. And they said, well, you should come and look at our facilities if you want to grow. We're being accepted into society.
We don't want that.
I mean, how many here has been to a gathering outside of Sweden? Like a... Everybody on that side. I mean, what are your experiences of those?
Anything we can learn? Yes.
Well, I visited Gamescom a few years ago, which really isn't a YouTube gathering per se or a YouTube convention. It's a game convention. It's one of the Europe's biggest game conventions, where a lot of YouTubers go as well. And it sort of has to become vibe. It's, to be honest, I prefer this over the big ones any day. Because here I actually feel like I can connect with people and not go fangirl over PewDiePie.
That was a big discussion during Summer in the City. We watched a panel of high-profile British YouTubers discussing if fangirls were good or bad for the community, and I don't know what they came up with, but it's...
Well, isn't that an issue of like everything, TV stars, etc. Like,
yeah.
There is the, for example, there is the Whovians as a community, Doctor Who community, and then there are Doctor Who fangirls. And both of them essentially hate each other and constantly fight with each other. I think the same goes on YouTube as well. Like, when you go to a big YouTuber, there are the people that are just fangirling because that guy is cute, and then there are people actually reacting to what he's saying, for example. Yeah. Not saying any names.
I think that has to do with what you said before about who's a YouTuber. Is it a person who uses YouTube or who creates? Because a few years ago, when the London gatherings were still really small, we all said we're YouTubers. I've never made a YouTube video, but I've been in this community since 2007. I always consider myself a YouTuber, but then as soon as you have the separation of it, you don't feel like you're part of the group. You just come to get an autograph from someone, and then it changed. And it got very... So, I also would agree that I like the personal interviewing better than you might.
Meet and greet. If we would have that in Sweden, no one would be in line, I think.
I can tell you that.
We would be in a circle. That's what we do.
When I went to VidCon 2011, I was heading to a green screen I guess, workshop. And I passed all these people. I thought they were standing in line for the toilet. But at the end, it was Shane Dawson. And as I passed him, I was like, hey, Shane, hey, how you doing? People lined like,
do that?
you broke the system. But I mean, yeah, I mean, obviously people who are only there to see their favorite YouTuber, you know, all they want is to see the famous YouTuber. And I guess the way that Summer in the City works now is that they don't put poor Charlie in the middle of the field and then people crowd around him. It's yeah, I know, but I mean now it's structured in a different way, but it's still
that's what funds Summer in the City. Fangirls funds Summer in the City. That's why they can keep it in such a big venue, because all the fangirls were willing to pay envoys. So
What are we
fan
complaining
family.
about then?
No, but it's this weird culture forming, especially in England and America, that meetups are for just seeing your heroes and say, "Oh, I love your hair," and then go home with a picture. And maybe that's not the evolution of gatherings we want.
No, but I don't think. Oh, I saw some hands.
No, go.
Yeah. You,
Yeah.
no, okay. Because since we don't really have that thing in Sweden yet, how come you came? What expectations
You
did you
didn't
have
come
when you came?
For a
Because
photo.
no, so how come? Does anyone want to say why did you come here? What do you want to get out of this? And what do you want it to be? Because that's what we make it to be. But it would be interesting to hear. Did you come just because, or have you actually really thought about it and know why you want to come?
I come here as a creator, and I think a lot of people, I think actually the majority of people here are creators in some way, or have done vlogging or any other kind of YouTube before. And I see them as a separate being. I see VidCon as a sort of fangle convention where you go and get a picture taken with a famous YouTuber and you go home and be happy about that. I think this is more of the creative space. I think this is for people both creating their YouTube and watching YouTube, and they want to get an understanding of the process. Considering we are having a panel about networking and about the big networks and how to, if I understand correctly, make money out of YouTube. And that doesn't really interest the viewership in that sense. So
That is true.
This is for, I think this is going to be more for the geek rather than the fans or the fans in general. So I think there's a split between those.
I saw another
A
hand
hand here in the
down here.
second row.
Yeah, I don't know what this is. This is my first time. And
Welcome.
Thank you. I'm really excited to be here and hear a lot of voices talking about being on YouTube. I'm a musician and I want to make it big. So just have that stated, not to say following the law of Jante here in Sweden, as we often do, to say that I don't need views, I don't need followers, I don't need money, I don't want to live on my work, I just want to live in a basement doing my awesome music, because that's not true. And that's why I'm here, because I want to learn how YouTube can make me big. And I think the discussion will always end in, so it was the law of the jungle always ruling behind the scenery. Because I think that's a machine of everything. I mean, we can see this as a community, but still we have 4 speakers on a stage above us all. I don't see that as something wrong. I just see that as you have to be some kind of leader so that you can guide us as a group. And there will always be a leader. I mean, we can always hate Jan Persson or Reinfeldt, but we still need them, because we would be a bunch of hens running around like an anarchy.
I think we all need organizers from time to time, but they can all be different from time. So we're not organizing the Göteborg gathering, so
I'm making the Gothenburg gatherings.
so and anyone can make a gathering. We're not in charge. We have below 300 subscribers. We're nothing. So we're just here for fun and games. So I agree to a certain point. We need people to make things happen, but they don't have to be the typical leader figures too. Yeah.
That was just a comment to maybe some views here, and my bottom line is, I came here to learn something, maybe to make some collaborations and stuff, and I think if we're afraid of success, we'll never make anything. So the voices I've heard so far are saying that, yeah, we don't need big lines and stuff. I mean, of course, if we have a line, we can speak with each other because we'll have a minute each with the big celebrity. And I like this concept of having it like a big commentators field here. And yeah, no one will, everyone's afraid of hating now, but maybe that's the good part of this IRL thing. So I'm just talking, my biggest question here today is, how can we as a team be better on YouTube?
I think you have an answer down there.
Well, I don't have an answer, but I have a comment. It seems that very... okay, let's see. I think that everyone here has their own interest in going here. I think it's a social space where you can make things happen with different entrances, you know. Some wants to do like you, learn about how does this community work and how can I collaborate for my own good. Maybe not for doing it for the lows, you know, but just doing something, you know. But I have another question. Can you have different gatherings with different purposes? Like, can you have one gathering that with for example, the ones that have very, very, very many views, to be able to meet them, and maybe then have that like an industry meeting, then have like this, that's, well, it's both ways, you know, people are YouTubers and not living up that, but yeah. And we have, like for me, example, you know, I don't have any subscribers really, I'm just here to meet people and just have a great time. And maybe do some collaborations that I think is funny. Is there a possibility to have different gatherings with different purposes instead, or do we have to collect everyone at the same every time?
I think you can have a gathering with different purposes. I mean, like you said, VidCon has Industry Day, which is a day before the actual community events, and there's been interest from the guy who is in charge, sort of, or responsible for the Nordic, YouTube in the Nordics, to do something that's similar to Summer in the City, where people who aren't YouTube creators, like content creators, come to meet their, you know, the famous YouTubers that they watch. But to also not at the same time, but maybe the day after or something, have something that's more content-based. Because if you focus too much on the top, you know, 1%, then it becomes a lot about that top percent. And for me, and I think for all of us, it's not about the top percent. I mean, it's not like we hate them because they're the top percent, not at all. It's because, you know, we want this to be a broad community. And obviously we want people to meet and collaborate. If I can bring the skills I have together with a skill that another person has, then we can do good shit together. I mean, that's what collaboration is to me, and that's how you can reach out from your own, let's talk Google here, Google Circle into someone else's Google Circle, and thereby the stuff you do is spread to other people, and then someone sees that you're good at something, who might be a big YouTuber, or someone who's not even on YouTube, and then we want to, I mean, little anecdotes. A lot of you know that I did a falafel video. I got an email from an Israeli producer who wanted to use that song in a segment, in a cooking segment that they had done with Albert Roux, who is one of the two famous chefs. And I said, yeah. I mean, that's something that I did for fun, suddenly reaching out to, you know, the real world.
And the real world is in Israel.
Apparently.
I would say that we've already sort of started it. Thank you. I'd say in Sweden we've actually tried to start exactly that, because we had the Stockholm gathering this summer where we focused mainly on the Sweden community only, and I think that's where this big stuff is gonna happen. The big YouTubers in Sweden are gonna come because that's where they can find their Swedish audience, and so that's mainly a vlogger with their fans gathering-ish. And then we have this Malmö gathering where we focus on the content creators and helping each other grow, helping each other find out what we want to do, and building new contacts. And also we have the Göteborg gathering, where we just enjoy ourselves, where we just play, where we just do something that is non-YouTube related, just hang out as a group of people that have same interests, and just enjoy it no matter who we are, no matter what we're interested in, no matter what sort of gathering we want to go to, we can just go and have fun.
Yeah,
So-
and that's the basic thing about the YouTube gathering in Gothenburg that I do. It's we're going to the amusement park and have fun all day long. The next day we go to a park and like barbecue on the summer. So that's it. We're just having fun. And Martin, Amanda, like this is amazing. This is like the best YouTube gatherings I know. We go here, we talk about creating stuff. I love that. And that makes my YouTube gathering so easy to do. Like, we're having fun.
I think they are both needed as well.
Very.
Yeah.
Different kinds of gatherings.
Say something.
No, but really, I mean, and that's not saying that Stockholmers can speak English, but it's just that Stockholm is the capital of Sweden, and Malmö is, you know, is really, together with Copenhagen, the center of this region. I mean, we think of this, for people who are from here, we think of this as a region, not Sweden, Denmark. Sweden, Denmark. But a region. And let's not go into Eurovision too much, but there's a reason it was placed here.
What time is it, by the way?
Quelle heure?
Quelle heure est-il? 1:30.
Okay, good. More questions. I mean, bring it. Soon we start the pizza stuff.
The entire day.
But we will have breaks between, so you can actually talk and not. So it's not just, you know, audience stage.
Yeah, and when we're done here, we'll ask you to get your pizza shit together. Someone will be helping you at the table, and we will get as many people as possible to write down the pizza choice. Yes. And any questions about pizza?
But I think the thing about the British YouTubers and the American YouTubers is because they have a language that everyone knows. Here in Sweden, we're very limited because we only have one language. And we can only reach out to the few Swedish viewers we have. I mean, I watch daily vlogs from Great Britain and America every day. And I feel like I'm part of that community. But at the same time, there's no one else outside of Sweden that can be a part of our community because they have no idea what we're talking about. So I think that's part of the reason that we're not getting where they are, because
Yeah.
we're so limited in their language.
People will not travel from other countries to go to the Stockholm YouTube gathering because we will be speaking Swedish, for now at least. Who knows what happened in the future. But that's why I think this gathering is so important as well, because Malmö is easier to get to from other parts of Europe, and since we're basing this in English, everyone is welcome on a broader level.
You're all linguistically welcome.
To respond to you real quick, I'm from the Netherlands, and we have a little group of very famous Dutch YouTubers as well.
Yeah.
And they're completely fine with vlogging and gaming in Dutch, and that's what made them big, because they talk to their own audience, and that's what makes them big in the Netherlands, but not outside. But they're completely fine with that. But that doesn't mean that they don't have 100,000 subscribers. So they're pretty famous.
Yeah, we have the same in Germany, and of course the size matters, so they do have, we have some YouTubers that have a couple million subscribers, they're all in German. And I know that in Germany it's something there always be down to stuff and stuff, it's just something that happens, but it is possible, it's just, I think you have to decide who you want to, the audience to be, whether you're focusing on the local or targeting which right away.
Even the Dutch YouTubers who are really big and they switch to English, they never end up being as successful as they are in Dutch. So it's really taking what belongs to you and making that your strength.
Probably right from the start.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot. I mean, for Sweden, the ratio between the amount of content creators and potential viewers is bigger than if you do it. I mean, I do it in English because my demographics is very limited to this state. It's a skånska joke. But obviously, you want to do videos in the language that you're comfortable with, and not just do it in English or German just because the potential of the audience. I mean, I do eat videos in German sometimes, but...
That's fake German.
Gigantisch.
Schön.
Any other comments before we take a break? Comments?
Anyone want to like Martin's comment? Click Google plus it. Plus one.
Oh, Jesus. Take that later.
Everything we say is a video response. Oh. Oh, well, I'm not the moderator.
And also, we could say that outside we have the styrofoam official Malmö YouTube gathering sign, and if you want to take pictures with that and tweet, you use the hashtag official Malmö YouTube hashtag MalmoYT.
Yes.
Malmö YouTube, MalmoYT.
And
So
get this bitch going.
get this bitch going, as Amanda said.
Let's get trending.
Yes. And let's get pizza writing and take a little break.
Thank you.